To which John answers he's been attempting to contact the rebels and promises to double his efforts. Later when he gets home, John leaves another vial inside the mirror and watches his children sleep. Curious, he grabs his son's syringe box, only for Robbie to wake up and ask him what he's doing. John explains that he's only making sure that Robbie has been taking his daily dose. Then Robbie goes back to sleep, but he shocks John by calling him Dad. The next day, John goes to see Mary and she finally realizes he hasn't been taking his injections. She can tell that John is feeling lost and confused, so she touches his hand to offer some comfort. Afterward, John meets with Jurgen to explain that killing father is impossible because nobody has been allowed to see him in years. However, Jurgen says that John is trained for this and promises that if John gets father, the rebels will be ready to destroy all the Prosium labs around the city. Once everyone is feeling again, then human nature will win their fight. John agrees to try, and before he leaves, Jurgen warns him not to watch Mary's execution because it'll only make it harder for John. When John returns to the office, he ends up seeing the preparation for the execution on the screens, and this inspires him to look for the footage of his own wife's death. John feels awful when he sees himself on the video, not having a single reaction over the fact his wife was being burned alive. Wanting to make up for his mistake, John runs to the incineration room to save Mary. Unfortunately, by the time he gets there, Mary is already inside the chamber and the machine turbines have already been started. They can't be opened now because if they are, the turbines will cause an explosion on the streets. John tries his best to hold back his tears as Mary dies, but eventually he can't take it anymore and runs outside to have a breakdown. At that moment, Brandt arrests him, and after beating him up in front of everyone, he takes him to DuPont. Brandt says that John has been involved with Mary and that he was the one who killed the officers in the Nether. However, John reminds DuPont about his mission to expose the traitor among the clerics and claims that Brandt is the man they're looking for. DuPont proceeds to check the gun that killed the officers, and it appears to be Brandt's weapon. Confused, Brandt looks at the gun he's carrying and discovers it's John's because he switched them the other night. To cover this up, John tells DuPont that Brandt took his firearm when he arrested him. DuPont orders the men to take Brandt away for judgment.